One man, one mission, to rid the world of chronic anxiety once and for all. The anxiety guy, Dennis Simsek, shares his personal transformation from living a life filled with overwhelming worry to becoming a full-fledged positivity machine, a leading authority in generalized anxiety. Dennis gets to the truth of your mental health challenges and sets you on a path to transforming each and every area of your life. Here he is, the one and only, the anxiety guy.
My friends, my extended family, welcome to episode 229. You're listening to the Anxiety Guy podcast, and I am your grateful host, Dennis Simsek. Today I've got an important podcast episode for you. Before I get into it though, head on over to theanxietyguy.com. Learn more about previous podcast episodes. As well, head on over to YouTube. And if you haven't already gotten caught up on the 29 days of the Anxiety Guy videos, please get caught up in those, because there's a wealth of information there and knowledge that will only add to your healing journey over anxiety and total transformation. So do those things today and begin the process towards becoming more than anxiety. Now, warriors, there's a problem. A big problem. And a lot of people don't really consciously recognize this problem when they're dealing with anxiety, because it tends to get overlapped by other problems, such as physical sensations, such as people-pleasing. All sorts of other things can overlap what I'm about to talk about today. Before I get into it, understand what I am about to say fully. And it applies to you. We fear the negatives, yet we never fully accept the positives. Why is it that we do everything in our power to not allow the negatives to come into our lives, and yet, when the positives do show up, we don't trust it, and we don't believe in our abilities to maintain these positives, and yet, because of our low self-worth, we sabotage the positives. We believe we don't deserve it, but the truth is, you do deserve it. Many of those ideas in your head are not the ones that you created. They're not yours. You don't have to own them. And so we come to one of the most important aspects of overcoming anxiety. Because when we talk about anxiety, we're talking about hundreds of different factors that contribute to anxiety. It's very broad to say, I want to overcome my anxiety. It's too general. If you're continuing to use that language, then you're just going to confuse yourself more and more and become more frustrated. What I'm talking about today is one thing: indecision. Indecision. You see indecision when an anxiety sufferer goes to the restaurant and doesn't know what to order. You see indecision when an anxiety sufferer walks down the street, goes into a cafe, and takes 20 minutes to decide whether they want to go back to coffee or just order tea. You see indecision when an anxiety sufferer is in a conversation with someone and can't decide whether to question the information from another person or to believe something different. Indecision and anxiety are like salt and pepper. They go hand in hand. But the question is, why? Why is there so much indecision in an anxiety sufferer's mind, body, and spirit? Reason number one: overwhelm. A mind-body-spirit system that has experienced one too many events that cause the entire organism to freeze. This leads to a state of consistent sensitivity. Reason number two: depletion, tiredness in mind, due to the endless inner chatter that never leads to a real outcome. tiredness in the body, which is a result of emotions that are stored in the body, which uses up more units of energy than we realize. Tiredness in spirit, which seeks direction, but the person doesn't trust themselves enough to decide on a new spiritual path. So the result is aimless circling. Reason number 3, sensitivity. A sympathetic system that has been activated on such overdrive for so long that everything becomes threatening, even a committed decision. Since our decisions in the past have led to outcomes that didn't pan out the way we had hoped, we unconsciously sabotage our abilities to pinpoint a firm decision, and instead we ponder hundreds of choices without a result. Overwhelm, depletion, sensitivity leads to indecision. Indecisive people fear responsibility, which is a key component to healing anxiety. Indecisive people allow others to make decisions for them, and they give up all the inner power and fearing the thought of being left alone. Since being alone equals no power at all, anything can happen to them. They believe even death without the comfort of a comfort person. Are you starting to realize how important it is right here, right now, to reverse these trends? Can you imagine being 80, 90 years of age, looking back and going, man, I just wish I would have done X more, because I lived a comfortable life within discomfort, which is what most anxiety sufferers do. They are comfortable in their pain. They are comfortable in their discomfort. Now, initially, you're going to go, well, that doesn't sound like me, but when you dig deeper, which is exactly what you have to do, you begin recognizing the reasons for why you're hanging on to anxiety, which are the very roots of your resistance to change, period. It's not that you don't have the skills or the support or the information or the knowledge. I'm here for you. You have all those things. So the question is why? I have a question for you. Is there any reason for why you're scared of letting go of this fear? Interesting question, Dennis. Go ahead and ponder that today. Now, indecisive people need 5 things. They need 5 things right now. Number 1, they need a structure connected to daily routines. You must create a structured life, at least for now, till you get to a place where you can be unconscious again based around the new beliefs that you created, the new identity that you created. So a structure towards daily routines that you do that move you towards those small wins every day is key. Number 2, you need to decide quicker. Even if it's the wrong decision or the wrong choice long term, this takes you away from the fear of making mistakes and into trusting over your choices. Trust your intuition because it's always right. Of course, when you're filled with fear, there is no intuition, there's only fear. But when the small wins begin accumulating, and you start recognizing that, hey, I've got some momentum here, I've got some progress going on here, trust your intuition. It has the answers. Number 3, indecisive people must learn from decisive people and surround themselves with them. Look at the people you hang out with. Are they quite indecisive as well? Do they bring a certain amount of negative energy to your life every day? Are they victims? Or are they quick decision makers? Do they trust? Do they have the power within them to follow through with a decision and feel good about it no matter what the outcome is? This is the key. It's not about making the right or wrong choice. It's about making a choice and then dealing with that choice as the day goes on, period. Number 4, be more compassionate and gentle to yourself. Stop beating yourself up. Stop allowing yourself to feel guilty. Stop blaming others. You must get to a place where you feel compassion rising up within you and you feel a certain amount of gentleness towards yourself. It's okay. And guess what? It's going to be okay. So live in that place. Number 5, slow down. My 50 to 70% rule is key here. The faster you go, the more threatening signals you're sending to your nervous system. The faster you go, the more the system recognizes that what's in that environment right now is a future threat. And therefore, it mobilizes the body, it mobilizes the mind. All of a sudden, you are highly sensitized to everything and anything in that environment and that situation. But the slower you go, going 50 to 70% of your normal speed in the way you talk, in the way you eat, in the way you move, in the way you drive, all of a sudden, the system goes, hey, there's no threat here. This is completely safe. We're not running from anything. Perfect. These are the things that indecisive people must begin focusing on starting today, because this has nothing to do with your identity. It's just things that you're doing. It's not who you are. You must begin separating yourself from who you believe you are when you wake up in the morning. You get up in the morning, you look in the mirror and you go, there I am again. Those symptoms are still there. I still feel like X about myself. And I hate it. And all of a sudden, you've planted the seed for the rest of the day, and those core beliefs just get stronger and stronger and stronger within you, and you separate yourself from freedom more and more. Instead, wake up and use the word transition. I am in a transition now. I may not be there yet. I still feel X and Y and Z, but I am in a transition because I have a structured life. I'm deciding quicker. I'm surrounding myself with positive, intended people. I'm more compassionate and gentle towards myself. And I'm slowing down. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of you. You're here. You're listening. You're absorbing. You're applying. I'm so proud of you. And I truly, truly want to use the word love here. Because I do love you. I may not know you, but I do love you. And I want you to know that you have the permission to begin loving yourself as well. No matter what took place in the past, no matter what the future holds, right here, right now, you can get to that place of compassion and self-love. You deserve it because you are much more than anxiety. Do me a favor. Rate and review this podcast if it's helping you. I would truly, truly appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next podcast episode. Bye-bye.
Thanks for being an important part of the Anxiety Guy podcast community. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a positive rate and review. If you're searching for further support on your road to recovery from anxiety, head over to anxietyexit.com and take part in the powerful End the Anxiety program based around the CBT model. If you're searching for a more one-on-one approach, you can sign up now for personal coaching sessions with Dennis via Skype. Remember, you are more than anxiety. See you in the next episode.